Hey, this is Bostin here with Will Caballero. We are filming at Lift More Fitness. It is August now. We're in actually the beginning weeks of August. It's definitely hot here. It's in the 90s. Will got to work out, and he trained some chest. He's starting his diet probably in about a week. Well, this is coming Saturday. But saying that, we hooked up probably about, I want to say, what, 12 weeks ago, 14 weeks ago. Been a little inconsistent in the off season. I mean, he's nailed some weeks where he's progressed every week, but I mean, there's also been some slip ups. But obviously in prep, it's going to change. So we got 14 weeks for the main show, and then hopefully he'll be doing nationals at 16 weeks. So you want to tell us a little bit about what we're doing, or what we have done before this currently for this first 16 weeks?
So we did a nice little 12-week recomp. I pretty much came off the couch. I make a lot of jokes about it for Instagram. I'll put up on the couch, anabolic couch. But so started 12-week little recomp, progressed same weight when I started to when I ended it, which was about 220, 221. Currently I'm right around 228 to 230. Varies. Pretty much in a good spot. I feel like for what I've been able to accomplish in a short period of time that I've been working with Bostin, diet's different than I've ever had. Super simple. Meals are the same every day. I'm not, jumping back and forth from no carb days, high fats, low fats. Very consistent. I feel like I do very well that way. Because I travel a lot, it's very hard to have a super diet that's like hit or miss, that I need to have 100 different things on me at all times.
Yeah, and he said, he came to me actually pretty soft, and I was like, well, we got a lot of work to do. He didn't really have any show in mind then. But at that point, we implemented obviously a balanced diet. Will had worked with me way previously, so I knew his genetics. I already knew his body type. It wasn't new to me. And then he ventured off, which I always tell people, that's the best thing to do, because my philosophies might not work for you, where you can go to a different coach and respond well. Everyone responds well to different macronutrients, different foods, different everything. But because he does travel a lot, I think simplicity is best, because when you do crazy training and training for long periods of time, all these crazy different meals, all these concoctions, prepping all that, after a while it gets real tiring, and you kind of just burn out, and you don't want to do it anymore, and you don't want to go to the gym, and then you're gonna have weeks where you don't train at all, and then everything just goes downhill from there. So saying that, Will came to me. We put him on a balanced diet with healthy fats in every meal, carbs around training in the morning, and then we adjusted as he got hungrier. We fed him more. Obviously he had some weeks. I know he had a vacation, obviously, which we all do. He had a little fun out there, and but when prep starts, it's really gonna be buckled down, and it's exciting. And a lot of people don't really go over the nutrition part, which is sad, because that's 85% of the puzzle. So Will be doing a video series that I want you guys to follow. In every 2 weeks you're gonna do? Every 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think every 2 weeks, because you see changes, drastic changes every 2 weeks of prep. So he'll be documenting this. I'll be sharing all the videos, just so you can see the changes, and he'll be going over the diet changes too, in the different phases. And that's going to be really interesting, because a lot of people they like to hide the secrets of dieting, and there's no real secret. It's really simplicity, and like I said, it's how your body responds. There's no cookie cutter approach. You don't know what you're going to do in 8 weeks from now. I mean, I could possibly think, I'll have to diet him hard, and I may have to be upping his food at the end. You just don't want to have a steady plan and be like, all right, we're already going to do that. I always know what we're going to do in the very beginning, but based on how his body responds, that's how we really come to a conclusion on that. All right, so I'm going to talk about a little bit Will's beginning of prep, because I do know what we're going to do at the very start, which I do with all my clients, no matter what their body type is. Because usually, obviously, when somebody starts a prep, they're going to be so if they're below 10%, I probably wouldn't do this, but usually all my clients are 10% or more before we start dieting them down for a show 16 weeks out. So I always start off with the first 2 weeks, we're gonna do a keto diet. There'll be one day where what I'll do is I'll pull the fats on his leg day, and I'll add carbs with every meal. So he'll be just doing protein carb for one day, just to get the metabolism going and throw something different at him, and then he'll notice his weight will actually drop the day after that. The calories will actually stay the same on that day. We're just replacing the calories with carbs, and reducing and taking out all the calories from fats. But the first 2 weeks will be a full keto, protein fats per meal. His calories will still be high, because he's going to be high protein. The fat content's probably going to be around 150 grams a day, anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of added fat per meal. He's going to have one red meat meal. He's going to have 2 egg meals. I mean, there's going to be a lot of healthy fats in there. He's not going to feel like shit too. Everyone thinks on like a keto diet you're going to feel terrible, and he's never done a keto diet. He's never even went zero carb for a long period of time, so he's going to feel different the first couple of days. But once his body gets used to ketosis, he's going to like it. And also with training on a keto diet and on a low carb diet, it's very, very crucial to keep the training as short and as intense as possible. You don't have glycogen to really burn up. So you'll notice the first few sets, you'll just be strong as a normal day, even when you're having carbs. The first few sets are fine. And then you'll notice in the second exercise, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm failing way quicker. And I always say you should be failing each set anywhere in the 6 to 12 rep range. He'll be picking 3 to 4 exercises per body part. He'll be doing 2 to 3 working sets per exercise, and he'll be doing 6 to 12 reps till failure. And like I said, every workout will switch. So his, maybe one week he'll start with pullovers for back, and then the next week he'll start with pull-ups. The variation in the order of the exercise will always change, but you always want those key exercises in there. Like one day he'll do barbell bench press, and then the next week he'll do dumbbell bench press. It's crucial to switch it up, just like switching up the diet. And once we do keto for 2 weeks, what's gonna happen? He's gonna flush out all the fluid. So you'll notice in his first 2 weeks, which would be awesome. So we're doing this, and you'll do a video in 2 weeks, and he'll be just like completely flat. But you'll notice he'll have just be tons of water be going on, and he'll be like, "This is the end of my keto." And then you'll see when I implement the carbs back in, his body will start coming back together. But the cool thing about the keto is it gets his metabolism going like crazy. So I'll be able to feed him into the show. And the main thing with that is you want to feed an athlete into the show, because if you diet them and they're not ready 4 weeks out, and you got to continue to diet them into the show hard, their cortisol levels are going to be up. They're going to hold a little bit of water. They're not going to look fresh on stage. You're going to have to keep cardio in the whole prep, so their legs aren't going to fill out. So the key with him, because his legs are definitely his strong point. I mean, he has really pro quality legs in my opinion. We're going to have to obviously keep the cardio as low intense as possible. Walking on a treadmill, maybe some elliptical if he wants, but very low intensity. And then after that, I'd like to cut his cardio 10 days out and feed him right into the show. And like I said, no hocus pocus. What he diets on is what he's going to carb up on. Like the keto diet will be basically what he has, for the whole really diet. And then I manipulate the carbs. But he'll be having carbs throughout the whole prep after that initial phase until we deplete him and stuff like that. And like I said, I keep carbs around the workout. Fats are always steady unless I need to pull them, but his metabolism, there's no way we're gonna have to pull any fats. There's no way.
Yeah, the fats you have now are awesome.
You'll be having more fats in prep, so you'll be having an extra meal.
That's cool.
So you'll be having 5 whole meals, 2 shakes. So you'll be having a little bit more fat on this new diet, but your carbs will be obviously non-existent. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you have a good metabolism, so you're kind of like me. You can get fat as fuck if you wanted to, and you can get soft. You probably couldn't get as fat as me, but you can get soft. But you could also get lean when you put your mind to it. But I'm curious, man, because it's definitely, my programs aren't easy. But I know you really want to kill this show, because I mean you got to look for your company and everything, so it's going to be interesting.
First plan is Easterns. We did Easterns last year, got second, and then hopefully we'll hit Miami in November.
And for those of you that are not familiar with local shows, the Easterns is probably the closest show that you're going to get to a national level quality show at the local level. Usually local level shows these days are terrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, classic physique and men's physique, the shows are stacked, usually mainly all the shows, but we're talking more about bodybuilding. The local shows are terrible, but Easterns is the show that you can count on every single year to have at least 10 good quality bodybuilders. I mean, good there's quality 10 bodybuilders. You usually have 5 to 10 supers, which is insanely rare. You have at least 15 light heavyweights, or it's a good show. So it's a good gauge to say, hey, should I hit this national show? Because I personally don't believe you should do a national show unless you win an overall. Because to me, you're just wasting your time at that point. Because these shows aren't cheap, guys. People don't understand. You got a $400 entry for a national show. Now they're charging $200 for a tan. Then you're paying for your hotel and travel. I mean, you're spending at least $1,000.
Yeah,
at least $1,000. So it's
for a trophy.
Yeah, exactly. So if you know, and I know your goal eventually is probably to get your pro card, but you don't want to just go up there and be another figure, because top 5 pose these days, and if you're not in the mix, I mean, you're just wasting your time and money at that point, and energy. Especially you're in a relationship, which you'll touch on a little bit. But I think that's you don't want to overly do it and just burn yourself out.
Yeah. So my girlfriend actually we're into Easterns together. That's the plan. Hopefully it all follows through. Her diet's already started. She's looking really good so far, and we're just gonna see how it goes.
That's always interesting, dieting with a significant other. I would say that, me and Ariella, I used to diet and then she would diet, but never at the same time for shows. So that's going to be very interesting. But she is bikini,
right?
So it's a lot different. It's not like crazy, chemicals going and crazy hormones, and I think it's going to be more comfortable.
Super simple. I'm super laid back. I can take a pretty big beating and still keep myself together. Where a lot of people, you're really edgy or like
you're
cranky,
you're
and
calm
tired
like me.
and prep. And I just kind of. I'm always in customer service with the brand and being in stores and working, retail. I've always prepped during that stuff anyway. So for me, it's pretty much just I'm used to people yelling at me all the time. So it doesn't matter.
And with prep too, prep always is like it's one of those things. It's like when you're in a relationship, you're just like, and it's your first time getting together. It's kind of like feeling things out. Because you are calm like me, but a lot of people, prep exaggerates your personality. So if you're already irritable, you're going to be more irritable. And I couldn't tell you. We see it every week on Instagram. Couples breaking up in prep.
Yep.
I mean, just shitty shit that happens in the industry, just from people just being shady, or being in prep, being with other, it's just so dumb. With liking Instagram pictures, getting in fights, just dumb stuff.
Over the silliest stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're at a really good spot. So I'm really not concerned at all. Obviously, it's gonna be hard either way. Prep's not easy. Never a walk in the park. No prep I've done has been easy. But the stresses between all the shows I've done prior, hopefully this will be the least stressed prep. I finally have a place of my own to where I don't have to worry about moving in between shows or doing that.
And you're gonna cut the travel down a little bit too, right?
Travel's gonna be cut down. Keep local in Jersey, not going anything. No more traveling to Florida.
The good thing about your diet, though, is when you do travel, it's protein, fat. It's when you train, yes, you'll be implementing carbs, but for the majority of your diets, packing an ounce of almonds and some chicken breast in a bag is easy. It's not, or you could, if you're gone for a couple hours, you pack one shake, one meal, and you're good. You know what I mean?
So also, I'm trying to hook up with a meal prep company this year. Hopefully, get some stuff going. So I'm not too worried about prepping all these meals. Because I always prep like Sundays or Mondays and prep everything for the week.
And that's the best way to do it, because if you try to cook everything fresh, you're gonna get burnt out. So, and that's the cool thing about my diet. It's one steak meal. Rest is gonna be lean protein of your choice, whether it's chicken breast or whitefish. I don't think I'm gonna have to switch you to just pure whitefish anyways.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have one steak meal and eggs. It's a simple diet. You could all prep that.
Either shop at BJ's or because of the restaurant depot a lot, and you just get bulk stuff for a lot cheaper.
That's awesome if you have a restaurant.
So currently, cardio is pretty light. It's only 20 minutes, 6 days a week. I've been doing it fasted, but apparently we're going to switch it just to post-workout for a little bit during the keto stage. Pretty much what I'll do is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll take my normal supps. So for my fat burner, I use Virtue from Legendary Labs, obviously. First thing in the morning, I'll start off with 1, and then I'll eventually up it to 2 first thing in the morning. I don't think it's necessary to take more than 2. You can take 3.
That's a lot.
I don't always suggest that unless like someone's really trying to push the weight off, for vacation or something like that. Then always do pre-workout, half hour before I train, Electra. Always. I'm a pre-workout junkie. Always have been since I was in high school. So.
And his products are 0 calorie too, which is good. So they're prep friendly. You could use them on the diet phase. A lot of these companies, they have trace calories in them, which I don't really like. A lot of these companies are putting a little bit of dextrose.
Dextrin in it.
Yeah. You don't want any of that crap. And the more artificial flavors and the stuff, you want to keep down to a minimum.
It's cool. I have the unflavored Vulcan Pump. Has no sucralose in it. It's pretty much straight citrulline, glycerol. Glucosine.
And if you chug that stuff, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, and as long as you're drinking Intra and you're training intensely, you're gonna burn through it.
Exactly.
Even like a lot of the sugar-free stuff, even like the syrups, it's like you're gonna burn through it if you're training. If you're not training, you're still gonna be fat.
And it all really depends on the body type too. Some people you have to pull the pre-workout like a week out or whatever, just so they can kind of flush everything out. But like you said, the cardio is going to be the bare minimum. I'm gonna start them off with 20 minutes post-workout. That's it, 5 days a week. Keep the cardio as low as possible for as long as I can. But like I said, when the weight starts to plateau and when I start to see some changes, that will all be up. But 16 weeks out, you do not want to be like cardio crazy right off the bat, because where do you go from there? If you start cardio crazy right there, you go 2-3 hours, no, it's not going to happen. I'd rather manipulate the diet more. You know what I mean? And it's just not necessary, especially as we even talked about, we were looking at his contest photos yesterday from the year before, and he definitely lost a little bit of fullness in that prep, especially with his legs being a strong point. They were still a strong point on stage, but you could tell they lost a lot of size from what I know he can bring in his legs, and I think he was talking about he was doing a little bit of hit cardio for that prep. And if you really look at it, if you look at the big bodybuilders that carry a lot of muscle, that are on the Olympia stage, there's no hit cardio. It's all low intensity. You do not want to eat up. They do that for a reason. You see all the guys that are like physique and like the 212 guys trying to make a weight class, and they need to eat muscle to make a weight class. Yes, they do a little bit of hit. For some females, it's good too because their legs are a stubborn body part, and they need to really just get everything off. But for a bodybuilder, when you have supplements into play, there's no real need for that.
Yeah, I think we're right around 228 before I flew down here.
Okay.
So
yeah, I would weigh yourself right before the keto so you could tell everyone how much you dropped. I'm gonna guess in 2 weeks he's gonna drop close to at least 10 to 14. And the funny thing is, his weight will drop, and his weight will be really low around probably the 6 to 4 week mark. 4 weeks out, it will be at lowest, but then his weight will slowly climb back up, and that's crucial because his legs will fill out, everything will be fresh, everything will be ready to go. It's not like, oh shit, we're not ready 2 weeks out, we got to do 3 hours of cardio, 2 hours of cardio to get all the fat off now, and then I got to carb you up last minute, and then you just, it's never a good combination.
Yeah, we're really not too concerned about the weight, right?
No, not at all.
The best look,
well, especially for the Easterns, you just want to come. I mean, shit, dude. If you come in at 199, I want you to be a heavyweight. I mean, that's because, as you know, heavyweights. If you're the most conditioned guy, it doesn't matter. You're going to look bigger than guys that are 215 that are out of shape. Yep. So it doesn't really matter at that point.
Just want to give a big shout out to Lift More here in Spring Hill, right?
Spring Hill, Florida.
Spring Hill, Florida, for having us. We appreciate you guys letting us use the gym, doing some film work. We're going to do everything on YouTube. YouTube will be Legendary Labs. So already done, got a few videos up there, training videos. No interviews yet, but stay tuned for the entire prep, and we'll keep it posted and keep everything rolling.
And I will also be posting these clips of me and him talking about his prep on Anabolic TV. If you put that into Google, you'll see my channel on there, and you can grab everything on Anabolic TV as well. But as far as that, yeah, it's going to be a fun prep to watch because it's going to be funny to see where his weight goes and where he responds, because you really do not know what's going to happen. So if anyone's really interested, and I'm going to tell him obviously when he's doing his videos to really dig deep in what we're doing nutrition-wise. I don't want to hide anything. I don't give a shit if people know what I did with him. I don't give a crap. So I want him to be transparent so people will be like, okay, his body's changing because he just pulled this, and I want people to actually know. I don't want any hocus pocus shit because I don't think anyone talks about nutrition. Like any video, we don't see any videos of. There's nothing. It's like
this picture of the meal
or and the main thing is they're always doing. They're filming every set in the gym, but they're not telling you about what they're eating post-workout. I mean, there's not enough videos on nutrition, and the sad thing is nutrition is everything. And the thing is I don't think a lot of people talk about nutrition, but you'd say about 95% of competitors have a coach, and they don't want to like throw their coaches into me. But dude, like what I do with you is completely different than I do with everyone else. So,
but really bodybuilders anymore.
No, I don't.
So that was actually one of my biggest things that reached out. I was like concerned. I was like, I don't know if he would actually do anything because he hasn't.
But I worked with him for a while, and he's been a bodybuilder for a while. I knew his potential, and I have nothing to lose at this point. But I have turned down over 50 now, at least over 50 preps since January of 2017, and that's, like I said, that's a lot of money to turn down. $800 for 16 weeks I charge for a normal person, and it's just, or now it's even, if a guy wants to come, I have a few guys that I prep in China. They were working with Keto, but they came to me, and it's basically you and them, and I have a few guys that are doing maybe shows next year, but I'm only prepping them is because I worked with them for like 2 years at this point, and I know their body. So
I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Trust me.